Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? If my voice sounds a little bit hoarse, it is because I've been crying my eyes out so much. And these are not tears of pain. These are tears of joy. I've been howling at the moon from sheer happiness because we finally get to use the $5 therapy machine. Folks, I couldn't be more ecstatic. We have legitimately hundreds of voicemails that we have to get through. So thank you if you submitted something, and you can always submit. You can call here or email here. It'd be really funny if the editor just didn't put any text there, and then I'm just waving my hand like a moron. But regardless, today is another episode of the $5 Therapist, and I can't wait. So let's just get into it.
Hi, Noel. I've been watching you since 2019. I hope you're having a good day.
I'm sorry, you're being very nice. And I'm a literal person, and that sentence sounded really funny. Hi, I've been watching you for 6 years. I hope you have a good day. Appreciate you, rocking with me for so long. That's beautiful. I am having a good day. Having a great day, especially because I get to use this. Please, let us know your pain.
I have nothing in common with my boyfriend, but he treats me really well, and I'm getting really tired of him. He starts crying anytime that I try to have a conversation that is more depth than watching a YouTube short. But he paid for me to get my 6th wisdom tooth out, wisdom teeth out. And he's nice, but we literally have nothing in common. I'm in college and I'm doing actual shit. And this is someone who's somehow burnt out without ever doing anything. You know what I mean? So we smoke and we chill and it's fine, but that's literally it. So what should I do? Because I cannot waste another 6 years. Okay, thanks.
You guys are on fire today. Oh my God. I have a lot to say, but I just need the first sentence. The first sentence is so funny.
Treats me really well, and I'm getting really tired of him.
My boyfriend treats me really well, and I'm getting really tired of him. Oh my God. Every incel just heard this, and just the fire in the back of their throat is just... Oh my God, dude. I think you know what you want to do. I think you want to stay another 6 years with him. This sounds like marriage. Also, you just kind of slipped it in there that he just cries. You didn't really explain that. You're he cries at anything with a little more depth than a YouTube video. That could be a lot of things. Is this guy just standing over the stove, looking at it, just crying, going, we can cook anything? Here's the thing. There are crying people and non-crying people. I really do believe that is a separation in us as humans. There's a group of us, like she describes, just cries at anything. And I think those people need to be with each other, and that's a bit cryist, and I'm sorry. But I just think crying people need to be with each other, because then you get situations like this, where the non-crying people, they just can't get it. There's no way to really bridge that gap. Because if you know a crier and you're a non-crier, it's asking a lot from a non-crier. I would say I'm in the non-crying camp, and sometimes I struggle with a bit of empathy with the crier. Because I can understand crying a few times, but standing over the stove, if you're my partner and you're standing over the stove and I walk out from the bedroom, let's say it's 9 a.m, we're getting ready to make breakfast, and you run out there to kind of get things started, and I'm, clearing my eyes, and there you are, my partner, at the stove, just going, what's got you, it's just that it's so beautiful that we have access to a gas line, and we can just cook whatever we want, because there are people that can't cook, and it's amazing that we get to cook anything and everything. whatever we want. And it's so beautiful. So if you're asking my advice, I would say you're not a crying person, and I don't think you like this guy. Also, you mentioned we smoke and we chill. Is he crying because he's too high? Is he not normally a crier, but you're sitting there and he really likes you and he wants to impress you and he wants to make you happy, so he's just smoking himself into oblivion, challenging his ability to hold on to his emotions, and there you are, a little bit dead inside, high as hell. Nothing can quite fire you up. And you're like, man, this fucking compilation of soldiers coming home is pretty stupid. And he's sitting there going, what? This is fucking beautiful. I think you should get married. That's my advice to you. I think you get down on one knee and you tell him, let's do this forever.
You know, that reminds me of hot stubs, specifically in your area. Of course, I'm talking about my stand-up comedy tour. Now, if you're thinking I'm going to promote my tour, I'm not. I'm actually just going to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who came to see me in Irvine. Amazing weekend. We sold out the same weekend as Stagecoach, which lets me know, Luke Combs, I am your direct competition. Now I'm going to promote my stand-up comedy tour. I have Oklahoma City next, and then I got Denver, and then Indianapolis. Oklahoma City, the early shows are filling up, and Denver is already sold through mostly because it's a rescheduled show. In case you forgot, your boy went raw, so I couldn't do that show last year, so I'm doing it in a few weeks. You can buy a ticket to all these wonderful stops at noelmillerlive.com. Don't sleep. It is a brand new hour. I get messages like, is this a new set? It is a new set, and I'm not talking about my cans. Come see me. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait to smoke crack with you in Oklahoma City. Now let's get back to the video.
Hi, Noel and crew. Sorry I sound kind of insane. I'm a bit sick, and I hope this is even interesting enough. But I got dumped in a Walmart yesterday, so I'm kind of reeling after that.
I often dump at a Walmart, too.
And maybe wondering what your advice is to get over it. Considering it was a pretty bad end, I'm thinking maybe rebound sex with a woman instead. Thanks for any advice you have, $5 or not. Bye.
Oh, I never thought about that. Getting dumped at a Walmart could turn you gay. That's powerful. Really powerful. Thoughts on how to rebound after that? Yeah, you could. You could cross over. You could dabble in the other team. That's one way to forget about it. Although messing with a lady might get you right back in a Walmart parking lot, getting blasted instead of dumped. You know, I'm going to challenge you and say, I don't think getting dumped in a Walmart parking lot is all that bad. There's plenty of aisle to walk it off. You know, you get lost in just a very large Lego section and think about what you're doing with your life. Plus, if you're thinking of switching teams, there are plenty of lesbians to pick from in a Walmart. Plenty to work with. So I think that was the right place to leave you at.
Hey, Noel, long-time listener, big fan of the show. I got this cat, and I love him to death. He's the cutest little thing on the planet. I just can't get enough of him. But he pisses everywhere. Every chance that he gets, he pisses. He gets up from a nap, he pisses. He finishes eating, he pisses. I can't leave him alone for more than 5 minutes, or he'll pee all over my new shoes. He fucked up my Jordans, he fucked up my Vans, he fucked up my Timbs. He's about to crease my shit, and I'm about to fold his ass. So, what should I do? Thanks.
Well, now you know what it's like to live with an alcoholic. None of your stuff is safe from pee. Pee is always on the menu. I'm worried for you because you hang around this long enough, you might develop a bit of acceptance for it. And you know what acceptance leads to. Kinks. Before you know it, you're in Germany, getting whizzed on, because it's so familiar to you, and it's so comfortable. You'll be sitting there, wrapped up in leather, with pee-pee running down your nose going, how did it come to this? And your cat will be standing over you being like, you like that, big boy? I'm not a cat guy, so my thing would be to do what everyone else does with their cats. for the streets. Let them out. You know, just as a tangent, I learned that people just steal cats. That would make sense because they're, you know, they don't seem like loyal creatures as far as I know. I know a lot of you are cat people, so I'm speaking lightly here about those, you know, just absolute rodents you have in your house. Let me not mischaracterize a cat as a rodent. I got in big trouble for doing that last time, for misspeaking on the rodents. Look, dude, pee-pee cat, I would equate this to when someone has a partner that is very cute, but has a small bladder. You know, plenty of it is out there. You know, I think it's something that people deal with. You know, they got a girlfriend that giggles a little bit too hard. She just peed at the family dinner. Road trip, got to pull over every 5 minutes. What I'm trying to say is I think many people make sacrifices to be with those they love. People that warm their hearts. They'll put up with something. And a piss cat is, I think that's a tough one. That might impede on future relationships. You're going to have to find someone else, if you're looking for someone, that also is accepting of a piss cat. And that could be tough. But I understand the cat is cute. You don't want to just kick it to the curb. Maybe put a diaper on it. You know? It's like training for early fatherhood, early parenthood. I've never seen a cat with a diaper, and that's just kind of funny. Have you considered that maybe it's something you're doing? Maybe there's something about you that makes the cat act out in revenge. Often in our problems in life we put onto others, but maybe you are making the cat go, you know what? I'm just going to piss on something. Because this guy, I can't deal. You know, he doesn't treat me right. As your therapist, I would say, look within. Or just throw it out to the street.
Hey, Noel. My name's Dane. This doesn't sound like a real story, but it actually happened to me, and this is my little testimony for your $5 therapy session. This is actually the first night I've seen you on TV, and I'm over at my buddy's apartment, and he told me to call in. But about 2 years ago...
Appreciate that southern condescension, my man. Here's a little story for your little $5 therapy show. I ain't even ever seen you on the TV. This guy, you stuck out there in Appalachia? You still watching cable news? Still watching cable TV, man? Look at me making fun of you from the big city. Look, love your accent, man. Continue, please.
I started seeing this woman who my mom absolutely hated, and I think it was mainly because she was 36 and I was 19, and she had 3 kids, and one of her kids she actually gave up for adoption, so that should have been a first red flag for me, but it wasn't. You know, I dated this girl for about 3 months, or no, it was more like 6 months, and it was fight after fight. I caught her cheating on me, you know, and I, caught her and woke her up, slamming the door, and I left her house. You know, I found all the evidence, and she ran after me, butt-ass naked in her yard, and, begged me to come back inside. So like an idiot, I did. That's pretty much, I broke up with her, and she started following me around. She went and worked at my favorite store in our local town. And she's not even from where I'm from. But she went and worked at my favorite farm store. I ended up getting a restraining order against her, and I hadn't talked to her in about 1.5 years. And then, some shit came up out of the blue, and she killed herself.
That's not fair, man. That's not fair, man. You knew what you were doing. You delivered it that way. I'm laughing at the way you said it. There was air in that hang up. That was a landline hang up. Listen to that. Listen to the air coming off the end of that sentence.
She herself.
If you lived in the landline era, you know what I'm talking about. When somebody hung up on your ass and you felt the handle of the phone hit the fucking and and there was about that 3 seconds of wind travel into the microphone that you would get. Back in the day when you got hung up on, you sat there and you took 2 forms of disrespect. You took the hang up, but you also took that. It was mean. You knew it was coming. You just stayed there on the other end listening to that air pound through the top of the speaker. Well, thanks for sharing. That was crazy. Well, I have so many questions, and but you don't even seem like you need help with this. This feels like such a small town story.
Hi, Noel. My name is Sydney, and I watch your channel all the time. I know you hate that all of the advice I ask for has to do with horniness, but this might also be, but not on my part. So I am 30 years old. I've been single for 4 years, and I just started talking to a guy that's very financially stable. Everything about his life is very stable, which I love because I have never dated a guy that's seemingly stable. And then he told me after our 3rd or 4th date that he would be really into me talking to other men either in front of him or behind his back, and he really wants me to hook up with a guy behind his back or in front of him. And I'm definitely not that type of person, but I already really like him, so it's kind of stuck in a hard place here. He also has a specific type of man that he would like me to talk to or hook up to, and I just don't know how to feel about it.
We can all take a guess.
Should I just block him and move on, or should I explore that or ask him more about where that comes from? Thank you.
I'm sorry. I have been stuck in the house watching media for too long that I can't take this guy seriously. Bro, 3rd or 4th date? Yo. I mean, I appreciate transparency, and I appreciate that he's like, hey, before this gets too far, I want to let you know something. I'm into something different. I can appreciate him letting you know, but 3rd date, I mean, that's really ripping the Band-Aid off. I don't know how modern dating goes. Maybe, I've heard you guys hook up a lot faster. So maybe the dates are the formalities, and you've slept with each other a handful of times, so maybe that's why he's comfortable volunteering that. Here's the thing. You don't want to get into weird territory where you're trying to change somebody. If he's really into this, do you necessarily want to be the one to try to convince him off of it? Does he resent you? Which is a weird position to be in, because if you're looking for monogamy and you're like, hey, I just like you and I only want to like you, it's weird to create resentment. And your boyfriend's sitting there going my bitch girlfriend, she won't even hook up with other guys. It's like, what are we even doing here? If you like the guy, maybe it's worth a question, What got you into this? Why do you like it? Could we maybe just focus on us? Could you be satisfied with that, But what if he's been single for a while and he's a bit lonely and maybe a bit horny? And so he's going 0 to 100 maybe with you because you're that special. You're that special to him that he's like, God, I will do anything with this woman. And, you guys can see if you line up in that way. He just might be just a good old freak. In the end, it may not be compatible. Kind of like criers and non-criers. He might just be freaked. And that's something I think is worth asking. Hey, do you want to... I can't match your freak. Is there a world where you want to turn down your freak and we see how this moves forward and see where it goes? 3rd date, in my opinion, is it's a bit fast to kind of reveal that information, but I could be wrong. So anyways, thank you for sharing that story. You know, that guy would be a great candidate for someone from the last episode. You know, let him watch.
Hey, Noel. My name is Joe. I just moved to a new state to take care of my elderly uncle. And, yeah, I think he's part of a cult. And I think, low-key, I might be schizophrenic, but weird shit keeps happening. He lives at, like, the top of this hill, this 50-yard driveway. And for the past 3 nights, a car has sat at the end of the driveway with its headlights and everything off. I confronted this person, and it was a member of the church. So I don't really know if this counts as grounds for needing therapy, but I'm definitely feeling a bit shaken up from it. Let me know. Yeah, hit me back. What's up?
Professionally, as a therapist, I'm going to recommend to you, you get the fuck out of there.
Hey there, Noel. Wonder if I couldn't get some $4.99 therapy. Just recently got cheated on for the last month of a long relationship. Said I was working too much and she needs someone free. Well, be the bigger man, let shit pass. And then last week I found out that the dumbass she left me for is not only my coworker, but they just got into a DUI accident and lost not only his license but his car. And I'm wondering, do I say, I'm glad you're okay? Or do I kick his ass? Anywho, yeah, I'm going.
Yo, you're a guy that I need to get on the horn with. A lot of people I will call or text, but you, sir, with that voice, that's getting on the horn right there. I need to get on the horn with Buddy right there. First of all, let me say a little bit of bro love right here. Your old lady made a mistake leaving you because you got auctioneer voice, dude. You got a real Wrangler voice, dude. That's the voice you're supposed to get when you put on a pair of 501s. You got a little bit of that cowboy sauce about you, man. So shout out to you. First of all, to answer your question, absolutely do not wish them well. Absolutely do not wish them well. What I think you do is you text your lady and you say, "Do we love you more than me?" And obviously you spell Dewey, D-U-I. Maybe you might have to get clever with that one, you know, D-O-O-U-I, maybe a little French. Dewey, do we love you more than I? Do we love you more than me? And, oh, actually, you know what? Leave it as a voice note. Leave it a simple voice.
Hey, I heard about your accident. I just want to check in and say, do we love you more than me?
It's going to pack a fucking punch, dude. That's the universe helping you out. That's the universe giving you the clear sign. Let these bozos crash and burn together. So I think you don't wish them well, because 2 things can be true. You can be happy that they're alive. Okay, you can be happy that they didn't die. You don't wish death on people, but at the same time, thank God they're alive, because now they're alive and you can earnestly and openly express your disdain and hatred towards them. You know, you can be happy for people's well-being and also be happy that you actually get to feel how you feel about them with no guilt. Thank God they made it through that accident, because I hate them. Guys, today's stories were unreal. I am so stoked to get through the massive database I have in here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to send us a note, send us something, please call the number below. If it makes more sense for you to write it in, you can write it in as well. And thank you for watching. Really, really stoked to have the series back up and running with this device. I can't say it enough. Clearly I can. I've said it 3 times. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Goodbye.